You're listening to the Passionista Podcast, episode number 65. This episode is brought to you by Zalise CBD oil, which I'm obsessed with. If you follow me on Instagram stories, you know that I talk about the benefits of CBD for women a lot. This has helped me totally heal my adrenal fatigue and gut issues and hormone and lack of sleep. And since I've been taking it for over a year now, my endocannabinoid system, which shocker is really important. I didn't know what that was before. But now that it's beginning to heal and awaken, I sleep better. My hormones are balanced. I have a brighter, happier mood. My face, my skin looks better. My libido's up. Heyo. And new result, my period is less intense. So now it's a 3-day easy breezy period where before it was pretty much horrific. So I am a huge fan of Zalise CBD, and you can get your hands on a 7-day supply, 7-day challenge. The link is in the show notes. But without further ado, let's dive in to today's episode. Welcome to the Passionista Podcast, where we believe that passion is everything. I'm Lindsey Nadler, empowerment coach and leader of the Passionista community. Here on the podcast, you'll find inspiring stories of women who've turned their passion into a reality, as well as the best coaching tips and resources so you can do the same and walk out your calling with confidence. All right, Passionista, let's get to it. Well, hey, Passionista, today's episode is the beginning of a 3-part series that I'm going to do here on the podcast all about money. It's all about women and money, and specifically women of faith, more so of the Christian tradition, Christian women and their issues with money, because it is something that it's like the likes of which I have never seen in my life. So as a business coach, as a life and business coach, it's always interesting, and you guys have heard me say this a lot, is the main reason that I see people struggle. There are 3 reasons typically. It's what they believe about 3 areas: what they believe about money, what they believe about people, and what they believe about themselves. In this 3-part series, we're going to talk about the money part. We're going to talk about what you believe about money and how that is showing up in your life. You know, when I coach people inside of the Passion to Profit Business Academy, or in the Passionista Mastermind, or in my one-on-one coaching services, there is always a money story at play that is holding them back. So right off the bat, if you missed the episode with me and Selena Gray, the money boss, Selena Gray, I want you to go back and listen to it. I believe that was episode number, which one was it? It's in the 60s. You guys just go look it up. Okay, go find the episode with me and Selena where we talk about what is your money story. We talk about how you overcome shame and guilt associated with money. And I even open up a lot about my money story. And guys, here's the reality is that we all have these beliefs about money that are either driving our business forward or they are holding us back. We are self-sabotaging. And it's interesting because they say that your beliefs, your subconscious programming gets wired that way from the ages of 0 to 7. So by the time you're 7 years old, your beliefs about money, about wealth, about abundance, about finance, about all of these things are kind of already implanted in you. And then we spend the rest of our lives uncovering what those beliefs really are. And so in today's episode, I want to just lay down the framework for what we're going to talk about. And I want to invite you to be open and teachable. I want to invite you, if you hear something that makes you feel uncomfortable, good, explore that, ask questions, be aware. I want to invite you to also look at if what I'm saying, you get defensive, you want to justify or defend your current stance, also pay attention to that. You know, as a coach, I've been doing this for a minute now. It is always the defensive ones. The reason you're defensive is because you know it's true. So look, I call it the pushback. Look for the pushback that you're giving. Ask yourself some questions and say, is there some truth to that? Because most of the time we defend things because deep down we know they're true. So I'm also going to give you some references on some books that have really helped me when it comes to money. I'll put the link to those in the show notes. You can use my link. They're all on Amazon. And these have been a huge part of me developing and continuing to develop my money mindset or my abundance mindset. And guys, here's the reality. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to turn your passion into a business that you love, if you want to make money doing what you love, which is what I teach and what I help my clients do, you are going to have to address what you truly believe is true about money, and not just money for other people, but money in your life. What are you allowed to have? What is good? What is bad in your mind? How do you judge people with money? What you associate money with is the issue. Guys, please understand that money is neutral. I would even go so far to say that money is just a word that we have given to describe a particular energy. Like, money is sometimes numbers in a bank account. Like, it's not like I'm knocking on my desk right now. Okay. Money is paper made from trees. Like, money is valuable because of what we assign to it. So I think that sometimes people think that money is like this elusive thing, or this like force that's controlling them or people, or we've all heard the religious spirit say, well, you can't put easier to put a camel through the eye of a needle than a rich man to give up his wealth, whatever that scripture is. I don't know, but it's like like money in of itself is evil or bad. And that is just not true. The last time that I checked is that churches, nonprofits, people that make a difference in the world do it with money. And so it's all about the person who is holding the money. One of the best analogies that I think somebody has ever given me when it comes to money is that money is kind of like a black Sharpie. The black Sharpie is just a black Sharpie. It's not good or bad. It's all about who's holding it. So like, if you give a toddler a black Sharpie and say, go nuts, you are probably going to see a world of destruction around you. But if you give a mature adult a black Sharpie, then they're going to use that for really good things, like making labels or using your sticky notes or whatever. Okay. You guys get where I'm going. It's all about the person that is using that tool. Money is a tool. Money is a relationship. Money is an energy. And it's all about what the perspective that you give it. And so I want to, before I get into some of the books that have helped me with this, I really want to talk about some of the pervasive beliefs that I think really hold women, Christian women back, women of faith. And honestly, like, doesn't even have to be that. I feel like just in our Western society, there is this notion that the more frugal you are, the more moral you are, or the more broke you are, the more self-sacrificing you are, humble you are, or even like with the whole cool starving artist thing, like to make money that's not cool. You're pretentious if you have money, or you're bougie. I mean, oh my gosh, like that term was invented here within the past 5 years. Like, what does bougie mean to you? For a lot of us, bougie could mean, well, you shop at Whole Foods instead of Walmart, or will you buy your clothing from Lululemon instead of Target? But for some people, Target is bougie. They buy their clothes at the thrift store. So there's all these judgments and levels of what wealth represents to you. And the judgment piece is really the issue. So there's this pervasive belief that the more broke you are, the holier you are, that the more frugal you are, the better person you are, because you're just not concerned with money. You don't care about all that. And to be ambitious and to care about money and have financial goals and to earn what you're capable of earning, which is really the issue at the end of the day, is bad. And I'm just here to tell you that, those beliefs will not serve you in your business. And guys, I'm assuming that you're listening to this podcast because you want to learn how to build a business doing what you love. You are heart-centered, you're impact-driven, you have a heart to help people. And it's so interesting how so many of the heart-centered women that I work with, their money relationship is horrible. They have so much shame about money. They have so much guilt about money. They barely charge for their services. They don't even want to charge for their services. They feel guilty that they should even make money for doing what they are like an expert at and have a skill set at, or doing what they love, because we have been conditioned to believe that making money is greedy and making money is selfish. And if you make money, then you're only concerned about you and you're not concerned about other people. Or why should you have all of this money when there are other people that don't? And there's other people that are suffering, which is crazy, because it's like, how am I going to help them? How am I going to help suffering people? How am I going to help people how I want to help them? That it costs money. At the end of the day, it costs money. I'm either going to help them with time or money. And guys, let me just tell you, as a former founder and executive director of a nonprofit, okay, if you guys don't know my story, if you're new to the podcast, I co-founded and was the executive director of a nonprofit that helps survivors of sex trafficking in the town where I'm from in Louisiana. And we got that nonprofit up and rolling and completely funded and donation-based, hiring employees like within its first year, which is pretty much unheard of. And let me just tell you, these ministries need your money. I don't need 20 volunteers bringing me a casserole. I need your money. Okay. Money is what pays for clothing, food, shelter, continuing education. All of the things that you want to give back cost money. So let me just tell you, you need to embrace the fact that money is a phenomenal way for you to support and help and give. And even if that even isn't what you want to do, if you want to make money so you can have a nice pair of jeans, if you want to make money so you can go get your hair done, your nails done, amazing. Just because you are investing in yourself and being the best you doesn't mean that someone else has to suffer. I just believe that there's enough for everyone, that there is plenty of money out there. There's plenty of opportunity. There's plenty of chances for us to use our privilege to help others. There is enough for everyone. And it's the scarcity mentality, the lack mentality that gets us in trouble. And so I think it's important to distinguish and for you to look at some of the beliefs that maybe your church has taught you that are not rooted in abundance, that maybe your parents have taught you that isn't rooted in abundance. Maybe you heard things growing up like, well, that's for people with money, or only rich people can do that, or we can't afford that. That's not for us. It's not in that's our family doesn't do that, or, oh, must be nice for them. Or even like, what are the judgments? Like, you may have been in the vehicle. I heard one of my clients say this one time, there was this huge judgment about people that drove Mercedes or being like people that drive certain type of cars or wear certain type of clothing. Oh, well, they must be this. They must be wealthy, which means they're greedy, which means they don't care about anyone. So I'm going to judge that. And so it's like, it's crazy. So I want you to look at how you've been conditioned by a holier than thou poverty mindset. Now, this is what I teach, and this is what I want to challenge you on. Okay. So if this is making you feel uncomfortable, good, pay attention. There are typically two extremes that we deal with. The poverty beliefs, the poverty mindset, which is rooted in scarcity and lack, and that there's never enough, which shows up in all areas of our life, not just our finances, but our finances are mainly one of the areas where it shows up the most. People make decisions based on not enough. People make decisions based on scarcity. People make decisions based on worst case scenarios. And this is totally different from being honoring of your money, responsible, being a wise steward. Actually, what you don't understand is that true greed comes from a place of scarcity. True greed comes from a place of lack. Greediness is not about abundance at all. Greediness is hoarding your wealth, is saying, I can have it all, but nobody else can. I want it all because you can't have some. It's like the little orphan at the table that eats and eats and eats because he doesn't know when he'll eat again. He doesn't want anybody at the table to get any of the food, like a ravenous wolf or something. Okay. So you have to understand that true greed is actually rooted in scarcity and lack. So the poverty mindset says this: I am holier because I am in lack. The more I suffer, the more I am frugal, the more I live in poverty, the holier I am. To be broke means to be holy, which means I'm better than you. I'm more spiritual than you because I'm broke. I'm a cool artist. I'm cooler than you. I don't care. I'm a free spirit. Oh, I don't care about money. Oh, I don't care about those things. I care about this. I'm a true artist. I'm a true Christian. I'm a true business owner. I'm a true heart-centered business owner because I don't care about all that stuff. BS. BS. It takes money to make the world go around, and it takes money to make the world a better place. And the last time I checked, no one is calling you to be a martyr. No one is calling you to suffer. This is my opinion. I believe because Jesus already suffered everything for everyone so that you don't have to anymore. Now, that doesn't mean that you won't. A lot of suffering is a choice. A lot of suffering is a part of living in a broken, fallen world with imperfect people. Cause and effect. Okay? So poverty mindset. Look at the areas that you constantly are in a state of asking it's not enough, or am I allowed to experience this abundance? Could be about food, could be about time, could be about relationships. Poverty mindset says the more I suffer, the more broke I am in whatever area, the more lack I have. It could be lack of time, anything. Lack of money, the more holy I am, the more spiritual. Now, on the other side is the prosperity gospel or prosperity mindset. And this is where I think a lot of religious banter really, really gets out of hand. Okay. And again, it's usually the people that are preaching a poverty gospel that love to crucify prosperity, or anyone with wealth, anyone with abundance, any Christian who ever even mentions the word money, wealth, abundance, dreaming big, doing amazing things, lives and breathes the prosperity gospel. Okay. However, there has been some abuse of this, which means that the prosperity gospel would say, the more money I have, the more abundance, the more wealth I have, the holier I am. See, we personalize everything. The prosperity gospel would say, well, because I am so blessed, I have wealth. It's God's blessing. Apparently, I'm special. That makes me better. That makes me holier. And it's evident by my fruit, i.e., money. Both of these extremes are incorrect. Both of these extremes are not how we're meant to live. We are called to live in abundance. But abundance is a natural energy source. It's a natural thing that is there all the time. And it has nothing to do with morality. Okay? Now, I 100% believe in reaping and sowing. 100%. I totally believe in that. Don't get me wrong. But everybody has air, correct? Like you walk outside, you breathe air. That has nothing to do with your spirituality. That has nothing to do with whether or not you're a good or bad person. It's just there. Let me know if you're tracking with me, just stay with me. Okay. Similar to sunlight, similar to water, similar to, it just is gravity. It's just there, and it doesn't necessarily It's like you don't experience gravity because you're good or bad. It just is. It is the same way with abundance. Abundance is all around us at all times. It is a natural energy. It is a natural um, plane of existence, so to speak. So anybody can get into a flow of abundance regardless of your morality or your spirituality. It's not about a certain group of people having all the wealth. It's not about it's not about that. It's not about, well, if I follow all the rules, if I do all the things, well, then I'll have abundance and wealth. That's not the case at all. It's there for everyone should you choose to accept it. Should you choose to step into that flow? For me, I believe that God is a God of abundance, is a God of extreme wealth. Just look at our earth, look at the planet, look at creation. Creation will tell you how abundant and amazing and good that God is. That's what I believe. And I believe that should you choose, and I believe should that you choose to believe that life is happening for you, not to you, your perspective of things is going to change the action that you take. So I want to invite you to let go of the fact that your worth or your spirituality or your morality is attached to a number in a bank, or is attached to how good you do with money, or how wealthy you are, if you're debt free or whatever. You're an imperfect person doing the best that you can. Now, I do believe there are some laws of wealth. I do believe that your relationship with money is is a relationship to be respected, just like every other relationship. And people don't respect their relationship with money because of shame and guilt and this poverty programming. And we're going to talk about this in some of the later episodes. But today's episode is about you understanding the difference, understanding the foundations between the prosperity gospel and the poverty gospel. And which one do you lean towards? For most people, it's the poverty, it's the scarcity, it's the lack, because there's so much shame. There's so many things that you've been programmed. And it may even like if you're like me, you may have some real middle class programming, which is the blue, or a blue collar programming, which is, hey, you work hard and hard work is to be revered above all. And yeah, you can have a little bit, but if you get above this certain amount, no. Like, we don't do that. That's for those people, those pretentious, uppity, bougie, rich people. We don't do that. No, we're good old boys. Like, oh no, we're good. We're better because we're right here. See, all of it, all of it is rooted in so much pride. Now, of course, are there people, in certain communities that, my point that I'm trying to make is there's good and bad people everywhere. There are because there's good and bad people. There are amazing, giving, incredible, wealthy humans who are multimillionaires, who are so solid and give and are so kind and incredible, and they use their wealth for immense good. And then there are wealthy people who are horrible individuals, and they use their money for all sorts of ridiculous purposes. Just like there are broke people who are horrible individuals, and there are broke people who are great people. Guys, we have to let go. We have to let go of the poverty and prosperity gospels, but mainly the judgment. We have to let go of the shame and judgment, and we have to truly own what are we doing with our relationship with money. And when it comes to our businesses, how is that holding us back? In the next episode, I'm going to talk about some of the most common self-sabotaging things that women do in business because of their money struggles and give you some solutions on how you can overcome that. We're going to dissect those in the next episode. And it all stems down to what you believe you are worthy of having, what you believe you're allowed to have. It all comes down to your money blueprint, what you are wired for. And we're going to get into the nitty gritty of that in the next episode. So remember, guys, this is a 3-part series. Today's episode was challenging you to look and be aware. Are you partnering with a lack mindset, the poverty gospel, or do you swing to the prosperity gospel? Neither one. Neither one are good. We want to have a healthy, abundant relationship with money. We want to own our money story. Go back and listen to that episode with me and Selena. I'll link to it in the show notes as well. And then I want to give you, really quick before we wrap up, I want to give you guys some book recommendations that have really, really helped me in my money mindset, abundance mindset, and healing some things and just making me aware of, things that I didn't even think about before when it comes to wealth. And as we know, awareness is so key. All right. And I'll link all of these in the show notes. And I want to talk to you about them because some of these titles, you may even be like, oh, I would never read that because of your judgments. Okay. So the first two that I would recommend is the first one is The Top 10 Distinctions Between the Millionaires and Middle Class. This is a super short read. You could finish it in a day and it is incredible. Okay. So it gets you seeing how people from poverty and extreme poverty, middle class, upper middle class, and millionaires think. And guys, here's the deal. Like if you have goals, if you have big financial goals, you need to learn how to think like people who have achieved those big financial goals. So the top 10 distinctions between millionaires and middle class, how they think, how they talk, how they live, what's important to them, what's their priorities. And then the other book that I really love is called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. We are actually reading this as a group inside the Passionista Mastermind. And guys, it's so good. And I know that so many people probably see that title and just kind of go, well, I don't really, like, you don't even have dreams. You don't even want to be a millionaire. You don't have dreams of that. Like you're just trying to like, hey, I just want to get my first 6-figure year, or I want to break even. And all of that is amazing. I want you to read this book anyway, because it so very much addresses your money blueprint that you have had since you were a child. Like, and there's some exercises that you do in it. Like, it is so amazing. I don't agree with everything that's in there. I don't agree with everything that's in anything, by the way. But because I'm a mature adult, I can look for the meat and spit out the bones. So it's so good. Some other great ones that I love that have impacted me in a huge way. One is Money, A Love Story by Kate Northrup. And then You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. Now that one is going to be amazing, especially if you are in that I'm a cool artist, I'm too cool for school. Oh, I don't care about money. I'm cool. I got it all going on. Yet you're wondering why you're eating ramen noodles every night and you can't pay your bills, like the whole broke, starving artist deal. You for sure want to go read that book. So those are the best ones for now. Start with those. And then we'll branch out. And guys, you notice that I didn't say one thing about Dave Ramsey, did I? Because this is not about budgeting. This is not about rules. This is not about you feeling like you need an accounting degree. This is not about all of that, because the truth is that the reason why you haven't stayed on a budget or done all of those things or worked a plan or whatever is because of your mindset about it. Just like with a diet, the reason people yo-yo diet and go from one thing to the next and never do what the diet says is because your mindset hasn't transformed yet. We will never repeatedly do what we don't believe we are. So if I don't believe I'm a person who's good with money or cares about money or honors and respects my relationship with money, then of course I'm not going to stay on a budget. Of course I'm not going to invest. Of course I'm not going to do things that create wealth in my life Of course, I'm not going to do any of that. So these books are going to help you rewire your brain and get you thinking about your specific relationship with money and begin to own that. So, okay, guys, I cannot wait for this money series. Again, as always, I would love to hear your takeaways. Take a screenshot right now, share it on Instagram stories, tag me with it. I will share it as well. And if you have not subscribed and left a review yet, go now and do that. That is the best way to say thank you for all of this incredible free content that we produce here on the podcast. And it's just a way to empower more people to hear this message. And because we believe that there is more than enough, empowered women empower women. So share this with a friend. Cannot wait to talk with you guys next week. Passion is everything, and I will talk with you soon. Hey friend, if you are ready to take your life and business to the next level, and you want to do it in an incredible girl gang of heart-centered, ambitious women who want to change the world, chase their dreams, and build a passion-based business they love, then be sure that you apply for my mastermind. Yes, I am launching my very own mastermind. It's 6 months long, starting October the 1st. And friend, this is a one-of-a-kind, intimate experience designed to give you the coaching, community, and confidence you need to up-level your life and monetize your passions. I cannot wait to chat and see if this is a good fit for you. So be sure that you visit the link in the show notes below or head over to bit.ly/Passionista Mastermind to apply.